Well, he's back with us again for 3 days, fresh out of San Antonio, the pride of the University of Miami, the pride of the state of Florida, and certainly in San Antonio, Texas. We are speaking about former Reds closer, yes, Danny Graves.
Wow, what an entrance right
How about
there.
that?
Oh, doesn't get any better than that. So glad to be here.
Nothing gets too good for you, son.
Well, I appreciate that. So good to be here again.
Nice to have you with us, and I think it goes without saying right now, the Reds have their backs to the wall. If they are going to make a statement, and that is that we can still get back into it, and David Bell maintains we're not out of it. That's like whistling through the graveyard. You got to prove by going out and playing winning baseball here, and then you go home and try and do the same thing against Colorado and Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. This is do or die now, and it's that way because of the trade deadline only having one of them this year, which is July 31st. So something needs to be done, and done in a hurry.
We shall see what we shall see. The first pitch presented by Belterra Park, Cincinnati. What amazing place to play. The Reds have played the Brewers tough this season, having won 6 of the 13 games played. And they've been bolstered, of course, by getting a couple of hammers back into their their bullpen. And, of course, bolstered by the return to the lineup of this man, starting it off tonight in Nick Senzel. First pitch presented by Belterra Park, Cincinnati. One amazing place to play. Their Texas native Anderson delivers. It's a swing and a miss, and this game is underway. Talk about a delightful temperature. Try 77, a radical departure from what we have all been used to back in the lower Midwest, certainly in Cincinnati, Ohio, and 77 here in Milwaukee, and it's supposed to be equally as delightful tomorrow and Wednesday. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count on the .272 batting Senzel. Right-hand batter against a right-hander, Chase Anderson, who rocks on the mound and deals, and that one is fouled out of play. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
I can't even tell you when the last time I felt 77 degrees.
What was it coming out of San Antonio?
It was like 101.
That's just like we like. Doesn't get too hot for me, pal. Beats the heck out of 5 degrees above zero, I can tell you that.
You got that right.
1 ball and 2 strikes as Joey Votto watches from the on-deck circle. Anderson bringing it, and the breaking ball is in the dirt, blocked nicely by Yasmani Grandal. And it's a count of 2-2. This Brewer Ball Club continues to hang around. They go into play tonight, only 2 back of front-running Chicago in the NL Central. They're trying to win their 3rd game in a row tonight. And now the 2-2, and that one is taken for strike 3. And a good first batter start for Chase Anderson. He gets Senzel looking at a fastball, and there's one down, and the batter is Joey Votto. Votto batting .258 with 8 home runs and 25 runs batted in. They have the shift on the right side of the infield for Votto, who checks his swing on a pitch low for a ball. Defensively, Aguilar first, Saladino second, Moustakas third, Arcia at short, and Yelich in left, and Kane in center, and Thames in right, Grandal catching, and Votto takes a breaking ball strike, and the count's 1-1.
Joey going with a little bit of a different look today. He's usually got the pants up high. He's
does.
Going with the pants low.
Well, he's tried everything, technically, mechanically, as a hitter, and now the uniform change comes about. The count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Because we all think it's the uniform's fault when we're not doing well.
Is that right?
We try to think it's something else besides our own ability.
You don't feel that way. I got a bridge I want to sell you. Here's a pitch, and that's a high pop-up off the third base side. Long run from Moustakas, and he'll get to it and make the catch. He had a heck of a run to get to that ball as he picked it off on a warning track down beyond the third base dugout and was a step removed from completely overrunning that pop-up, but he was able to reach back to his left and make the play. 2 out. Here's Eugenio Suarez. .251, 24 homers, and 60 runs batted in. That's the good news. The bad news is that he is up among the leaders in the National League in strikeouts. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's taken for a strike. He is third in the league as he swings and fouls the pitch off to fall behind 0-2. Javier Baez of the Cubs going into play today has punched out 120 times. Bryce Harper 116 and Eugenio Suarez 111. Wind up in the pitch. Breaking ball just missing. Our plate umpire is Pat Hoberg. At first base, Greg Gibson, Jerry Davis at second, and Brennan Miller, a vacation umpire, over at third. 2 men up, 2 men down. A 1-2 pitch after the long look in by Chase Anderson on the way to Suarez, and he takes a fastball in, 2-2. Outfield playing the right-hand batter slightly to pull the ball. They've got the shift on the left side of the infield. Swing and a miss for the 112th time this season. 3 out.
Bill Cunningham, your simple midday pleasure. Tomorrow at 12 noon on 700 WLW.
Lorenzo Cain settling into the right-hand batter's box after the Reds are up and down in order against Chase Anderson. Now Sonny Gray about to make his 20th start of the year. And you go to work on Cain, and the Milwaukee center fielder takes a fastball that's a bullseye for strike one. 247 by way of an average, 7 long ones with 34 runs batted in. Gray delivers, and the pitch is taken away for a ball. 17 of his 19 starts, he's allowed 3 runs or less. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that. This young man may be the best pitcher in the history of baseball at 6-6. I'll take that back. Second only last year to Jacob deGrom. Sonny Gray has been outstanding. There's been no other way to put it. He gives you more often than not a fine outing when he goes to the mound every 5 days. His 1-2 pitch. And a liner into right should be caught. Nope, he pulls up and plays it on the bounce. Puig did not want to gamble and have that ball kicked by him and go all the way to the wall. He had every intention in the world of catching it, but he pulled up at the last second, played it on the bounce, and that's a inning-opening base hit by Cain.
Smart play, too, by Puig, not taking a chance early in the game like that, especially with the wheels of Lorenzo Cain.
So now Christian Yelich. If anybody needed any proof that what he did last year was no fluke, he has shut them up. 337 average, home run leader in Major League Baseball with 35. He takes ball 176 RBIs. You'd say, well, that's a mighty low number for a guy. Well, he bats second. And that's the reason why the RBI number is low. But, boy, you look at the top 10 departmental leaders offensively in the National League. That pitch is taken high for a ball, and the count's 2-0. I have never seen a closer battle for the MVP award in any given year than what we have going on right now. It's almost a given. It's either going to be Yelich for the second straight year or Cody Bellinger, the very gifted young man for the L.A. Dodgers. 2-0 pitch on the way, and that one's a swing and a foul. And it pretty much backs it up. Yelich 35 home runs, Bellinger 34. Batting, Yelich is second at 337. Bellinger is third at 332. Yelich leads the league in total bases, 5 more than Bellinger, who is second. Yelich leads on on-base percentage. Bellinger is second. Slugging percentage, Yelich. Bellinger number 2. It's like that all throughout the various offensive categories. The 2-1 pitch. And striking a good fastball on the inner part of the plate for a call strike 2. And I really believe For me, right now, Bellinger has the advantage because he is a part of the team with the best record in this league. I mean, they can just play the string out. They're going to win the National League West. There's no question about that.
That certainly helps the division he's in and the team that he's on.
Yep. Up high, full count.
And that's not to take anything away from the Brewers, but Bellinger, it seems like every time he comes up to bat, somebody's on base.
Yep. 3-2. Let's see what Craig Counsell does with Lorenzo Cain, if anything. He has 12 stolen bases. And it's a 3-2 count on Yelich, who's right on top of the plate. And here comes the payoff pitch. A runner holds, and the pitch is fouled straight back.
And did you mention that Yelich was leading the league in stolen bases, too?
It's amazing.
It is. It really is.
He's got 23 stolen bases, has been caught only twice all year long. Now, I don't know what more the guy can do than what Christian Yelich has done this season. And every time he looks over his shoulder, he sees Cody Bellinger.
Yeah. He's also in the top 3 in outfield assists, too.
That's right.
So he does it on both sides.
3-2 pitch again, and he walked him. So after the leadoff base hit by Cain, he walks Yelich. And Sonny Gray finds himself in trouble right out of the gate. Here's Yasmani Grandal.
Well, and the thing about Sonny Gray, I think he's pitching with such confidence right now that obviously he was very careful with Yelich right there, but he knows that he has the stuff to get out of this inning without much damage being done.
Well, the thing he's got working for him more often than not is he's a strike-throwing machine. He'll not walk too many people. And now the left-handed batting, at least up against a right-hander, Grandal, he's a switch hitter, is at the plate, and he takes a strike. A 2-time All-Star here in 2019, this former University of Miami Hurricane player. That's one thing he and Danny Graves have in common.
Probably the only thing.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Time call now as Greg comes set. I met a guy yesterday who asked to be remembered to you. He was a PA announcer at the University of Miami, baseball and everything else. First name is Jay. He said, tell Danny I said hello. It's a long time ago when you were in school.
J-Ro.
Yes.
J-Ro Keach.
Yep. Call strike. He was in Cincinnati with a group of folks watching baseball and came up to the radio booth with one of our old pals, Andy Furman, and we talked about him, and he said, be sure. I said, I'll see Danny Graves next 3 days. He said, be sure and tell Danny I said hello.
J-Ro, one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Great guy.
Yeah.
2 on, nobody out. 0-2 the count, and that's down in the dirt.
Man, he's been down there probably as long as you've been with the Reds. It seems like he's been down there for decades.
I think he said 40 years.
Yeah.
No, I think he might have said longer than that, to be honest with you. He's no longer doing it. But he said, be sure and tell Danny Graves I said hello. No score. We're in the bottom of the first, but the Brewers are threatening. Sonny Gray to the plate, and that was a jam shot, but he had enough on it to pop it up behind the plate and back into the seats. Tomorrow will be a night game, and then they do it in afternoon fashion on Wednesday. The Reds are home, have an off day Thursday, and then play the Rockies over the weekend, followed by 3 beginning on Monday night against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Go to Atlanta for 4 and then come right back home again. The pitch inside, 2-2.
It just seems like this schedule's been so crazy.
It's strange now. No question about that. Reds have had, I think, 3 Fridays off, 2 for sure that I can remember.
Which is unheard of.
Yeah. Doesn't happen to him, but those things are out the window. The tradition of playing every weekend date. Here's a pitch. Foul ball. Cade singled. Yelich walked. Reds have a fresh arm in their bullpen tonight. In case you missed it, Sal Romano, who spent virtually the entire season with a big league club last year, was called up today when the Reds disabled Tyler Mahle, retroactive to Saturday. Ground ball feared by Gray. He throws to second. The throw to first. That's a double play. 1-6-3, and he made a nice play on a hard hit ball back at him to start the double play. He goes to Iglesias, and he turns it over to Votto with Kane advancing to third, and they're 2 down in the inning.
And that's the thing with Sonny Gray. He makes some good pitches. Grandal was fouling a bunch of them off, and then gets him to hit a pitch that he made. Of course, he's a great athlete out there and quick to turn and turn double play.
Now it'll be Big Mike Moustakas, who was named for the 3rd time as an All-Star. He is riding an 11-game hitting streak as he stands in and starts around. And did he check his swing? He did. Left-handed batter with great power, 26 homers, 60 RBIs. He's a guy that shopped himself as a free agent during the offseason and did not find anything to his liking. Ended up coming back here and signed another 1-year contract. The 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes.
And all those teams that were talking to him in the offseason are probably kicking themselves in the pants right now.
I would think.
For not trying to sign him even better.
Sonny trying to pitch out a 2-on, no-out problem. Got the double play ball off the bat of Grandal. And that one now is a 3-0 count on Moustakas. If he loses him, he'll be facing the right-handed batting Jose Aguilar. And so maybe if he ends up walking Moustakas, he'll not be overly disappointed in that. We'll see how it pans out. The pitch. That's ball 4. He was bound and determined to keep that ball in on Moustakas, and he did. But he walked him, and now it'll be Aguilar with runners on the corners.
Well, and not only did he pitch around him, but as you mentioned, he pounded him inside, made sure he got it in there. So now later in the game, Moustakas is going to be thinking he's going to get pounded inside with everything, and it opens up the plate for Sonny Gray.
Yep. Aguilar at 275, 8 homers and 34 runs batted in. Make that 225, I should say, not 275, 225. But swinging the bat much, much better over the last month. He's been a 300-plus batter. He takes the first pitch for a strike. .6'3", 250 pounds. He is some kind of big man. As Kane down at third. As Moustakas at first. The pause, the pitch, and it's a ball inside. Fans at Kroger, it's easy to place your order online and pick up at the store. Try it tonight or tomorrow at Kroger.com. One pitch. Gets a shortstop. Iglesias down on a knee and pitches it off to Peraza for the... Well, the Reds were gone in order. The Brewers threatened, but that was the extent of it. So zeros on the board for both teams, and Yasiel Puig will greet Chase Anderson at the outset of the second inning. Checks in at 261, 22 bombs, 59 driven in. The pitch, and it's up and in, ball 1. Chase Anderson is another pitcher that will rarely walk anybody. Swing and a miss on a pitch away. He's 5-2 on the year. He's 0-1 in one start against Cincinnati. But lifetime has won 5 of 8 decisions against the Redlegs. The pitch and a foul ball. After Puig, Peraza. After Peraza, Urban. We talked about Tyler Mahle being disabled. His pitch day is Wednesday. Missing just a bit outside. It'll be Lucas Sims who will get the ball in the finale of this series. Two-two pitch. Full count, Fastball in.
Can't get anybody better to throw on a getaway day than Lucas Sims.
No, you can't.
He works very quick and keeps his defense in the game.
Like he is double parked outside. Ball 4, good at bat for Puig. Fell behind early in the count. Refused to swing at a bad ball, and that's a rare walk issued by Anderson. Bringing to the plate second baseman Jose Peraza. Time now for the Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game.
Oh, boy.
Text your answer, or text a word vote along with your answer of A, B, or C to 66128 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, $25 Skyline Chili gift card, a $25 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, and a free haircut from Great Clips, brought to you by Cincinnati Bell, connecting what matters. And Puig is driving Anderson crazy over at first base. He bounced off that bag, taking lead, jumping back and forth, and Anderson finally stepped off. And now Aguilar giving him a pretty good-natured ribbing over there at first base.
I was getting antsy just watching Puig from up here.
Here's Anderson with the stretch and the pitch and the foul. 50 years ago, Danny Graves. You're not quite that old yet.
Not yet.
But back in 1969, the Brewers franchise was born in the form of the Seattle Pilots. What member of that Pilots team had won 2 batting titles prior to joining Seattle in its expansion season? Was it A, Tommy Davis? Was it B, Tommy Harper? Or was it C, Mike Hegan? The 0-1 pitch. Here's a liner into left, but right at Christian Yelich. And Peraza is out number 1.
You know, I was feeling pretty confident in Colorado. I dominated these questions, these trivia questions.
You did?
I did. Right, Tommy?
Is that right, Tommy? You did? Wow.
This one, pure guessing on this one.
All right.
Because I have no idea.
A, Tommy Davis, B, Tommy Harper, or C, Mike Hegan?
I'm going to say A, Tommy Harper?
Tommy Davis.
Davis.
So you don't want Harper, but you want A, Davis. Is that correct?
As of right now, A, Davis.
Okay. Phillip Ervin stands in with 1 out. You saw him have a pretty good game out in Denver, didn't you?
Boy, that was fun to watch. I was really disappointed that he didn't hit a home run.
Yeah.
For the cycle, but still, it was fun to watch him.
No score here in the second. Runner aboard. Quick throw over against Puig back.
Prior to that game, the last opponent against the Rockies to go 6 for 6 was Paul LaDuca back in 2001.
How about that?
Long time ago.
Another Hurricane play, ex-Hurricane?
No, Arizona State.
Okay. He could hit now.
Yes, he could.
1 out, 1 on, and another throw over to first by Chase Anderson. Continuing to be concerned about Puig, who leads his club in stolen bases. He's had 13. That pitch split the heart of the plate. Irvin watching it all the way into Grandal's mid, a strike. The roof, by the way, is open tonight, as it should be. I mean, we had nothing but blue sky the entire day today. It was delightful. And Amanda and I used the day to go to the Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum here in Milwaukee. And if you have a thing for bobbleheads and you want to see bobbleheads from every conceivable walk of life, it is amazing. The pitch, that's a strike.
Was there one that just kind of stood out, a unique one?
No, I don't think. There were so many good ones, over 3,000, and the list continues to mount because they continue. I asked one of the owners, the 2 young guys that own it, I said, you all buy all these? They said, we did early, and now we have people donating them to us.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Runner going. Pitch is fouled out of play, so Puig took off. But the first inductee into the Bobblehead Hall of Fame was Peter Edward Rose.
Is that right?
Yeah. And we bought a bobblehead today that commemorated that. they've really got some neat stuff. It's the Reds are well represented. Every big league ball club is well represented. It's just very, very impressive. And we have a lot in my baseball room at home. We've got a lot of bobbleheads, but it's just amazing to see from the world of politics, entertainment, from every conceivable type of job description that would have a reason to put out bobbleheads. It's impressive. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you're interested in such things, just Google Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum in Milwaukee, and it'll bowl you over. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul.
So they have them on display, and you can buy some?
Yes, they have their own gift shop, and then they have them on display, and they have them categorized as baseballs, and they have the NFL football, NBA basketball, college football, college basketball, political. They have a whole bunch of former presidents of the United States, that type of thing. It's really neat.
Did they mention Steve Perry from Houston? Do you remember the visiting club?
I knew Steve well, yeah. No, they didn't. There's a runner going to throw down, and he is out a mile. Second baseman accepted the throw, Saladino, and that's the second straight time now that Puig has been cut down stealing.
Not a bad pitch to run on. That was a breaking ball, but that's a perfect throw there from Yasmani Grandal.
Sure was. Oh, Irvin finds himself all alone now as the base paths have been wiped clean, and the wind-up and the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and that's a punch-out, and that ends the inning. On we go, home half of the second inning. Eric Thames, left-handed batter, first baseman / outfielder, to begin the inning against Sonny Gray. He kicks and delivers, and Thames takes a first pitch ball. Welcoming in our good friend, and we hope yours, from the Cincinnati Enquirer, John Fay. John?
Marty?
And how does this day find you?
I'm a little unrested. I spent the night in Detroit, so.
Yeah, did I read something did you put a tweet out about rolling the dice or something of that nature?
Yeah. They assured me. I said, I don't want to get stuck in Detroit. I can stay here.
Right.
They said, oh, you'll make it. Your flight.
Here's a hard-hit ground ball that's fielded on the outfield grass, and the throw, not a hot one by Peraza, but picking it out of the dirt as Joey Votto won out.
And I got stuck in Detroit.
What time did you get out of there this morning?
At 8:30.
Now, you sleep well tonight.
Yes. As you would say, it was a big old hang with them.
That's an HWE, my boy. 1 out in the inning, and here's shortstop Orlando Arcia. You had a chance to visit with a guy who I know is just chomping at the bit to get back on the field, and that would be Tucker Barnhart.
Yeah, out here early, he hit, he threw, he did everything. I think he's going to go out on a rehab Thursday. He thinks maybe 4 games, and he'll be ready to go. And he's got the strained left oblique or right, I can't remember which, but when he was hitting right-handed, that was the big deal.
Right.
No, actually left-handed. When he was hitting left-handed, that's where he injured it, and that was the biggest hurdle to overcome. He overcame that today, and he thinks 4 games will be plenty.
2 foul balls put Arcia in a hole at no balls and 2 strikes, so he figures 4 games, which would be the weekend series with Colorado plus Monday against Pittsburgh, and then all things being equal, he'd be back then.
Yeah, that's what he's I guess it's always fluid when a guy goes down there. He can be down there longer,
sure.
Or I'd be surprised if it was shorter.
Fly ball hit to deep center, but Senzel gets back to get it. 2 out.
It's odd. As long as I've been covering this club, I never remember him losing 3 catchers.
I haven't either. I agree with that. 2-out batter will be second baseman Tyler Saladino, not in the lineup originally tonight. Keston Hura, their fine rookie second baseman, but quad problem that apparently he suffered the injury taking batting practice tonight, and so it's Saladino getting the call at second base. And Sal Romano back.
Yeah. Talked to Sal a little bit. They moved him back to the starting rotation in Louisville, and it kind of took off once they did that. I think he made 3 starts, and he had an ERA of under 1. And he said he just got his confidence back where he's throwing 4 pitches rather than just being a slider fastball guy. So he's not going to start up here. Lucas Sims is going to take Mally's start, but it'll be interesting to see. I was surprised. I thought Sal had a good chance to make the team, and then he didn't make the team, and then he really struggled in Louisville for the longest time until recently.
2 balls and 1 strike, the count on Saladino. And I got the impression in talking with David Dell that this well could be 1 start for Lucas Sims. They are really hoping and expecting that Mally will be back.
Yeah.
2 out in the inning, 2 balls, 1 strike on the right-handed batting Saladino, and Gray works, and that's pulled to third, and there's Suarez, and the throw on to first is in time. The inning is over. Thanks for stopping.
It is 0-0 as the Redlegs come to bat in the top of the 3rd inning, and they will send up Jose Iglesias, followed by Juan Gratterall, and then Sonny Gray against Chase Anderson, who has looked tough so far against the Reds through the first couple of innings. Anderson walked Yasiel Puig to lead off the 2nd inning, but he was caught stealing, so the Reds have not had a runner past first. They've only had 1 base runner the first couple of innings against the Brewer right-hander, who has really kind of had an up-and-down season so far. Started out really good in his first couple of outings, then went through a lull, but pitched well his last time out. He goes to work against Jose Iglesias, who looks at a strike over the outside corner. It's 0-1. Iglesias batting for the first time tonight at .281, 5 homers, 33 knocked in. Anderson's into his windup in the 0-1 pitch, and Iglesias fouls it back. He's down in an 0-2 hole very quickly. Right-hander against right-hander. Anderson home to Iglesias with the 0-2 pitch, and it's hit on the ground, weakly to the second baseman. Saladino gloves and throws in time to get Iglesias. And there is 1 away in the 3rd. That'll bring up Juan Gratterall.
Well, what Anderson's done tonight, as opposed to the last couple times we saw him pitch against the Reds, he's throwing all strikes with all pitches. He's got his breaking ball working, his changeup, especially righty-on-righty changeup, which is tough to pick up for a right-hand hitter.
Here comes the first pitch to Gratterall, and it is a strike over the outside corner. The right-on-right changeup is a really good pitch if you can throw it, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing. Right-handed batters don't expect that to happen.
Ground ball weakly hit again. Saladino, the second baseman, fields and throws out Gratterall. 2 very quickly gone in the 3rd inning, both on groundouts to the Brewers' second baseman, and that'll bring up Sonny Gray. He can handle the bat a little bit. He has 4 hits this year, and he may be the best guy on the team at getting a bunt down. Not that that would apply here, but I think if you can execute a bunt, it shows that you can handle the bat a little bit.
Well, he's such a good athlete anyways. We see what he does on the mound, and he's already proven that he can swing the stick a little bit.
Here's the pitch to him, and Sonny Gray takes a first pitch strike on a fastball from Chase Anderson. You talked about what he's done against the Reds, and he has not been good against Cincinnati this year. This is hit sharply back at Anderson. He got his glove on it, but it deflects away over towards Saladino, who was way back on the right side. He can't get to it. Anderson chases it down, but by the time he got it, Sonny Gray was safe at first with an infield single.
Anderson did a good job of getting to that ball after it ricocheted off him, but we just talked about the athlete that Sonny Gray is. He was getting down the line very quickly. No chance for Chase Anderson to throw him out.
And that ball was hit a little bit off to the side of Chase Anderson, so he was reaching towards first just a little bit. Not fully outstretched, but he was in a good fielding position. He just couldn't quite glove it cleanly. It was hit very sharply on one hop. An infield single, 2-out hit for Sonny Gray, and he has the Reds' first hit this evening as Nick Senzel comes to the plate. A strikeout victim his first time up. He was called out on strikes. Here's the first pitch to him in his second AB, and he takes low, ball one. This is Senzel's first start since the last game at Wrigley Field. Hamstring has kept him out of the lineup. The 1-0 pitch, and Senzel takes up and in. We've seen him used a little bit over the last few days as a pinch hitter, even a pinch runner a couple of days ago. Yesterday, he was called off the bench to pinch hit in the 9th. David Bell saying he was probably healthy enough to play yesterday, but with it being a day game, he elected to give him one extra day. The pitch, Senzel takes low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. It's no secret the Reds have struggled since the All-Star break. What's interesting, though, is when you look at the numbers, the Reds have hit. 3-0 pitch. It's taken high, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Nick Senzel, and now they're in business here with 2 outs. In the top half of the order, Joey Votto coming up now with 2 on and 2 out. First, the 2-out single by Gray. Now the 4-pitch walk to Nick Senzel. Votto popped out in a foul ground to the third baseman Moustakas his first time up. He hits here with Sonny Gray running down at second base and Senzel at first. Not that you want Sonny Gray to overextend himself running the bases here, but he can run a little bit. We've seen David Bell use him off the bench in a pinch running situation. He dances away from the bag. He takes off for third, and Votto sends a fly ball to right field. Going over towards center, it's Thames, and he'll make the catch, and the inning is over. So the Reds put together a modest 2-out threat that comes up empty in the third. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Still, Reds and Brewers, nothing. Back at Miller Park in Milwaukee, no scores. The Brewers get ready to bat in the third against Sonny Gray, who is just now returning to the mound. Of course, he was running the bases after his 2-out single last inning. And then after a walk to Nick Senzel, Joey Votto flew out to right field to end the Reds' threat. He was the game's 15th out. Brought to you by Geico. Saving you money on car insurance has been Geico's home run for over 75 years. Get a quote today with a proud partner of Major League Baseball at Geico.com. Geico, so easy a caveman can do it. Let's pause for station identification along the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Showers taper off, mostly cloudy tonight, a low of 62. Mostly sunny for Tuesday, a high of 81. Wednesday, sunny with highs in the lower 80s. It's 70 degrees at the home of the Reds. News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
With Danny Graves and Marty Brenneman and our engineer here in Milwaukee, Ryan Elliott, I'm Tommy Thaw. Great to be with you from Miller Park on just a dazzling night. I mean, cloudless skies, barely a breath of air. With the roof open here in Miller Park tonight, it is a picture-perfect day. And out walking around today, these summers here in Milwaukee are pretty bearable. I mean, it is spring-like here in Milwaukee.
And you love that the roof is open.
Oh, you know me.
Yeah.
I am not a fan when that thing is closed. Open tonight, it's like a whole different stadium, though, with that roof open.
It is. It really is. But this is a perfect night to have it open.
You ain't kidding. 9-1-2 for the Brewers here in the third inning. Chase Anderson, the pitcher, to lead things off. He is hitless on the season. 24 at-bats without a knock. Renzo Cain and Christian Yelich to follow against Sonny Gray. The right-hander steps back into his windup. He comes to the plate, and Anderson takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Marty talked about how effective Sonny Gray has been. I'll tell you what, he has been brilliant in his last 2 outings, but he just hasn't had the run support in those last 2 games. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Anderson looks at strike 2. 4 balls, 2 strikes. The Reds only scored 2 runs against the Cubs and the Rockies in those last 2 Sonny Gray outings. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that is in the dirt outside. Anderson laid off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-1, though, in his last 4 starts with a 1.65 ERA for Sonny Gray. And I think one of the things that really stands out about Sonny is over his last few starts, he started to pitch deeper and deeper into games. The 1-2. And this is a broken bat bouncer to first base. Joey Votto will scoop it up and take it to the bag to retire the pitcher. 3 unassisted, 1 out, back to the top of the order now, and Lorenzo Cain.
Well, I think we all can agree now that Sonny Gray has put himself up there with one of the best pitchers in the National League, especially as of late. And I know on this staff we have another one who's one of the better ones in the National League, Luis Castillo. But the way that Sonny Gray has gotten himself into trouble and then immediately got out of the trouble has been remarkable.
I thought what he did in the first inning tonight was tremendous. And that's something that I know you and I have talked about before. I mean, he got into a little bit of a jam in the first couple guys reached. He didn't panic at all, got the double play, got out of the inning with no damage, and he floats a breaking ball up there to start off Lorenzo Cain's at bat with strike 1.
And that's the difference with a guy that's pitching with confidence.
Here comes the 0-1. And Cain fouls it away down the right field line. He's behind 0-2. Well, he certainly seems like he is beaming with confidence right now.
Absolutely. And the 2 walks that he had in the first inning with Yelich and Moustakas, it wasn't because he was erratic. He was being careful.
Right.
He knew what he had to do. He knew who was coming up, and he was pitching.
Here comes the 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Lorenzo Cain is down on strikes. That's Sonny Gray's first strikeout tonight. And he strikes out the guy that has had the most success against him in this Brewers lineup in Lorenzo Cain.
That was nasty. He's been throwing a lot of pitches away, his fastball away, his slider away, and that was a 2-seamer down and in. Cain had no chance to get to that ball.
That was filthy. Started that on the inner half of the plate, diving down and in on the right-handed hitter, and he's the second out as Christian Yelich stands in and takes low, ball 1. Yelich walked his first time up against Sonny Gray. Not that he's really had a cool stretch this season, but he has been on fire since the All-Star break, hitting .405. The 1-0 pitch, and Yelich pulls it on the ground, a foul over by the Brewers dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Currently on a 10-game hit streak. He has hits in 14 of his last 15 games. And it's never a surprise when you come to play the Brewers and see that he is one of the hottest hitters in their lineup. And he takes a fastball from Sonny Gray just off the inside corner down around the kneecaps. 2 balls and a strike.
And that's a purpose pitch right there. That's letting Yelich know that he will come in with something hard. Now it opens up the plate a little bit more for his breaking ball.
Here comes the 2-1. And it's lined to right center field. That will get down. Over to pick it up is Puig. Yelich around first holding. And that'll be a 2-out single for Christian Yelich, stretching his hit streak to 11 games.
And that's why it's so important to get those guys out in front of him. Because you can take the singles all day long from Christian Yelich as long as there's nobody on base. It's like when Christian Yelich is getting his hits, it's almost like playing with a guy playing golf with somebody that hits it right down the middle of the fairway every time. It's just boring now.
Right. He's on with a 2-out single, and that'll bring up Yasmani Grandal. He hit into the double play in the first, right back to Sonny Gray, and he takes in the dirt, ball 1. Grandal named to the All-Star team this year for the second time in his career. Here's the pitch, and he swings and drives one to right. Hit well and hit high off the wall. Puig over to pick it up on the warning track. Yelich around third, headed home, and the throw back to the infield gets away, but it's backed up by the catcher. And it's not going to matter. It was going to be an RBI double either way. Yasmani Grandal comes through with his 52nd run batted into the year, and that gives the Brewers a 1-0 lead in the third.
that's just a pitch that Sonny was trying to go inside on Grandal and caught too much of the plate. I just wonder if Puig wants another chance at that, because if he makes a better throw, there may be a chance to get Yelich out at home if he has a better throw to the cutoff man.
Yeah, the throw back in
just kind of sailed a little bit.
It did. Of course, Yelich never slowed going around the bases, running on contact with 2 outs. Here is Mike Moustakas, and the pitch to Moustakas is low and inside for ball. 1-0 Brewers in the third. Moustakas a walk his first time up. Left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher, and it comes, and Moustakas takes a breaking ball low and in. He's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Gray through the signs. He's ready. The 2-0 pitch, and Moustakas straightens out of the way of a fastball in. It's 3 balls and no strikes. He has started to heat back up, but overall the month of July has not been great for Moustakas, hitting .242, but he's hit safely in 11 straight entering play today, and he takes a 3-0 fastball down the middle for a strike. It's 3-1. His average was all the way up to .280. Entered play today, just below .270. Right-hander home with a 3-1 pitch, and that's a strike over the outside corner. Nice job by Sonny Gray to get back in this count with a backdoor breaking ball to the left-handed hitting Moustakas with the count full 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second base, 2 out. The Brewers have a run in the third and lead it 1-0. Gray to the plate with a payoff. Runner goes for third, and the pitch is hit in the air to center field. Senzel comes in to make the chest-high catch. Let's come to bat, trailing 1-0 to the Brewers here in the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Eugenio Suarez to lead things off. Yasiel Puig and Jose Peraza will follow against Chase Anderson. He has allowed just 1 hit over his first 3 innings against the Reds, and that was a 2-out single to the pitcher, Sonny Gray. See if the middle of the order can get something going against Anderson. Right-hander into his windup. He brings it home, and Suarez takes off the outside corner. It's ball 1. 1-0 on the right-handed hitting third baseman. 1 of 3 Chase Anderson strikeouts tonight. The pitch misses down and in. 2-0. Well, did you find out if they'll let you slide down Bernie's slide out there?
Oh, I didn't ask today.
Well, you got 2 more chances.
Yeah. I'll try to figure it out.
That's very high on your priority list here in Milwaukee on this trip. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled back and out of play.
Do you know how awesome that would be to slide down there?
I think for you it would be incredibly thrilling, since you've talked about it a little bit. It almost looks terrifying to me.
It kind of does. I'm looking closer at it now.
2-1 swing and a miss. 2-2 on Suarez, because that curls out over the stands, and that's pretty elevated there.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of roller coasters and like carnival rides. No. Maybe I won't find out.
Here's the 2-2. And that's high and outside. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
You've quickly talked me out of it, Tommy.
I wasn't even trying to talk you out of it. I think you'd love it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What if I talk to some people here in Milwaukee like I have any pull, but maybe I'll have Marty ask some people around here for you. We can arrange that.
If Marty goes on it, I'll go on
it. He looks thrilled about that idea. He's all in. 3-2 on Eugenio Suarez. Chase Anderson through the sides with his catcher. Sets up away in the payoff. Suarez pops it up. On the infield, over is the first baseman, Jesus Aguilar, coming in on the infield grass between the bag and the mound. He'll make the catch. Eugenio Suarez is the first out of the 4th inning. gone. That'll bring up Yasiel Puig, who walked back in the second inning, but he was caught trying to steal second base. Chase Anderson has not been a guy that has been able to pitch deep into games for this Brewers team. In fact, only once this year has he gone into has he got 6 innings or more, and that was right at 6 innings against the Pirates back on June the 9th. Here's the pitch to Yasiel Puig, and it's a strike over the outside corner, 0-1.
Well, Craig Counsell takes him out right when he needs to take him out. Does not generally let him face the same guys in the lineup more than 3 times, or even to that 3rd time. He gets him out of there quick.
The pitch misses to Puig. It's a ball and a strike on the Reds right fielder.
Counsell seems to do that frequently. I mean, they have 9 guys in the bullpen, 9 relievers.
Here's the 1-1. And Puig looks at strike 2. Good fastball from Anderson right over the inside corner. And it's 1-2. Well, you got to have a lot of guys if you're not going to have your starters go very deep into games. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Puig sends a fly down the right field line, twisting out of play. We'll try the 1-2 pitch again. And I think that would be a big reason why the Brewers have their bullpen set up the way they do. But this is a Brewers pitching staff that, for the most part, has lacked consistency, especially in that rotation. Here's the 1-2. And Puig fouls it away again. And they just took a major blow with Brandon Woodruff, who probably been their top starter this year. He went down with an oblique strain. That happened yesterday. He was placed on the IL.
And that, you just never know how long that could take.
Right. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Puig again pops it up. Foul over by the first base dugout. And that will end up back into the seats.
You know, I understand what the Brewers are doing with all those relievers, but sometimes it's going to come back and bite you. On a night like tonight, when they're short on their bench already, and Keston Hiura was supposed to play in the game, start in the game, he's not available with a quad injury that happened during batting practice. Ryan Braun is not here. He's at Tyler Skaggs' funeral, so they're short on their bench.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Puig, and this is sharply hit to the backhand of Arcia. He gloves, throws in time. Close play at first, but Puig is out. And Puig is talking with first base umpire Greg Gibson, who gives him a little pat as Puig slowly heads back towards the Reds dugout to see if they want to have a look. That was sharply hit to the backhand of Arcia. He knocked it down with his glove, but had to pick it back up and fired to first on a close play. It was a short hop, but a nice backhanded pick by Aguilar on the other end.
Well, the only reason that play was made because Puig hit it as hard as he did, and it did give Arcia more time. But that conversation with Greg Gibson, I can only imagine what that was.
I know, the first pitch, outside ball 1 to Jose Peraza. Puig, right as he crossed the base and saw the call, said something to Gibson. It was clearly a cordial conversation. Peraza sends a little flare out to shallow right. Out goes Saladino, the second baseman, with a headlong dive. Can't get it. And that'll fall in front of the right fielder Thames for a base hit. A 2-out single for Jose Peraza. And that's the Reds' second hit.
Hit it where they ain't. That's what we like. He almost got to that ball.
Yeah, he did. Saladino with a great effort going out. Of course, Saladino in there because of, as you mentioned, Keston Hiura going down right before the game. A late scratch from the Brewer lineup. And depending on that injury, that could be a big blow to this Brewers team. He's been one of their hottest bats. He's been their hottest bat in the lineup. In fact, just today he was named the National League Player of the Week. Here's the pitch to Phillip Ervin. He socks one deep down the left field line, and it is just foul. Ervin hit it a ton. He had more than enough. Got into the second deck down that left field line, but it was just foul. 0-1 on Phillip Ervin. Peraza leading away from first. Here's the pitch. And Ervin went after an elevated fastball. Came up empty, strike 2. Pinch hit home run yesterday for his second home run of the year. He's down to the count now, 0-2 in the pitch. And Ervin takes strike 3 call to the outside corner. That's 4. To lead things off the Brewers in the bottom of the 4th. Milwaukee's up 1-0 on the Reds. They got a run in the 3rd. Here's the pitch, and Aguilar takes ball 1. Head into a force out his last time up, which closed the curtain on the 1st. Sonny Gray through the signs with his catcher Juan Gratterall, and he's back to the plate with the 1-0 pitch, and Aguilar hits one pretty well to left. Ervin can't get it. It's over his head. It'll one hop off the wall. Aguilar around first, and he'll motor into second base with a leadoff double. 4 for 48 weekends are back this season. Cheer on your Reds when they take on the Rockies Friday through Sunday, and save thanks to Mike's Car Wash. Buy 4 view-level tickets and receive 4 Reds hats for only $48. Take advantage of this great deal at Reds.com/4 for 48. Eric Thames to the plate with a runner at second base and nobody out. The Reds will shift against Thames to his pull side. The left-handed hitter takes a breaking ball in for strike 1. Peraza out in shallow right field. Iglesias the shortstop on the second base side. And Suarez at third, way off the bag, almost halfway between second and third. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss by Thames. The breaking ball down and in. He's behind 0-2. A ground out to the second baseman his first time up. Gray has 1 strikeout. He could use another one right here. And he's home with the 0-2 pitch. And it is lifted high into the air down the right field line. Puig over to have a look, but it's foul back into the seats. Thames hit that one well, but he got under that and hit a towering foul.
That seemed like it was so far inside. He hit it off his knuckles and still got out there to the upper deck.
Gray will try the 0-2 again to Thames. Seems like he's got him set up with that pitch, though.
Yeah, there's so many different things now he can do. Breaking ball down in the dirt, or he can go with the fastball up and in, snap his bat in half.
See what he chooses to do here on this 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. He elevated the fastball, and Thames is down on strikes. Sonny Gray's second strikeout tonight, and now he'll deal with Orlando Arcia.
And that at bat right there with Thames, and I hate to chuckle, but it was almost like he was just playing with him, just kind of teasing him a little bit. Sonny let him drive one deep but foul, and then abused him with a fastball up.
Arcia for 1 with a fly to center field, and now Gray goes to work on him with the first pitch in the dirt, a breaking ball, ball 1. Nothing Brewers, bottom of the 4th inning at Millard Park in Milwaukee. This is the first of a 3-game series between these two teams. It's been a pretty even season series between the Reds and the Brewers this year. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it is just a little bit off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. The Brewers have a 1-game edge. First 13 meetings. Of course, the Reds took 3 out of 4 from Milwaukee in the last meeting at Great American Ballpark in early July. The 2-0 pitch. Just a little bit off the plate outside. And it's ball 3 to Orlando Arcia. We've got Tyler Saladino waiting in the on-deck circle Just a 115 hitter in limited action this year. Waiting the on-deck circle, and Gray to the plate against Arcia, and he swings, and he had a green light 3-0 and drives one over to left center, but right there is Philip Irvin near the warning track to make the catch. Arcia is out, and Jesus Aguilar still at second base, but now 2 outs as Sonny Gray will go to work against Tyler Saladino.
That's a big thank you right there. 3-0 count. Your number 7 hitter who's 3 for his last 28 going up there swinging like that. I just don't understand what his approach was, but thank you for that.
It worked out in the Reds' favor, and now with a runner at second and 2 away, Sonny Gray can get out of this 4th inning, working around the leadoff double if he can retire Tyler Saladino.
You know, some may say, well, the bottom of the order's up, the pitcher's coming up, he'll be on deck. Still, if it doesn't work out, you still at least move the line a little bit.
And the pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. Brewers are up 1-0, bottom of the 4th inning in Milwaukee. Gray missed with ball 1, and now he's home with the 1-0 pitch to Saladino. And another breaking ball that misses down, 2 balls and no strikes. Saladino was one of the heroes for the Brewers yesterday, tying the game with a grand slam in the 4th inning. Brewers would go on to win that game and win the series against the Diamondbacks. From the belt, check of second. Gray to the plate with a 2-0 pitch, and Saladino tried to check his swing but couldn't hold up. Went around at a breaking ball, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Grand slam yesterday, Saladino's only home run. And the pitch, and that is up and in, and that got Saladino on the hand. And he will head to first base. Gray came up and in, and got Saladino right on the top hand as he goes down to first base. That'll bring up the pitcher, Chase Anderson. Saladino gets checked out by the Brewers training staff, and everything seems to be okay.
Of course, that was just a pitch that was supposed to be in to set up the breaking ball from Sonny Gray, but no harm done here now because you have the pitcher up with 2 outs.
Anderson grounded out to the first baseman, Joey Votto, his first time up, and he bats here with runners at first and second, 2 outs. Anderson, not exactly known as a guy that is a great hitting pitcher. And a check swing roller up the first base line, and it is just foul. He is 0 for 25 this year. Chase Anderson, lifetime at the plate, 0.85 career hitter.
.085.
0-1 on Anderson. First and second, 2 outs, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Came at him with a breaking ball, diving down and away from Anderson. He swung right through it, strike 2. First and second, 2 outs. No balls, 2 strikes on the pitcher, Chase Anderson. From the belt, the 0-2 pitch. And it's a breaking ball in the dirt outside. Anderson lays off, 1-2.
And obviously what you can't see at home, I just saw Joey Votto turn around to Yasiel Puig and tell him he'll be at the bag if the ball comes to him. Those, to me, it's not fair, but I love it. I love the opportunity of a right fielder to throw out a pitcher at first base.
and there's no question that Puig has the arm to do it.
Right.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And again, Gray tried to get him to go after a breaking ball down and away, but Anderson laid off. Count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, that was a couple breaking balls trying to get him to chase. Now all he has to do is throw this one over the plate, and Chase Anderson really has no chance.
Here it is. Fastball, strike 3 called outside corner. Anderson caught watching. And
But Reds.com/Kia Suites. Kia, give it everything.
That's all right. On we go, top of the 5th inning. It remains a 1-0 ball game in favor of Milwaukee. Jose Iglesias first up here in the 5th against Chase Anderson. Before he steps in, we step out for identification on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
The Hamilton County prosecutor wants to see former Judge Tracy Hunter's sentence commuted, and another shutdown has been averted in D.C. Those stories and more coming up after the game on the home of the Reds. News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
Iglesias 0 for 1. He led the 3rd off and bounced out to second base, and now here he is to start things off here in the 5th. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Brewers. No runs, only 2 hits. And errorless baseball for the Redlegs. So here's Iglesias and here's Anderson, and the pitch is popped up around the plate area. Foul territory, drawing a bead. Grandal makes a catch. Here's Juan Granderol, the bat. He bounced to second also his first time up. Here's a pitch, and it just misses off the outside edge for a ball. We have a Holmes alert. For the uninitiated, that would be to bring you up to date on what transpired tonight down at Minute Maid Park in Houston in that matchup between the Oakland Athletics and the Houston Astronomicals. High fly ball hit along the right field line, chasing into foul territory and unable to make the play is Eric Thames. Houston leading in that game right now, 11-0. That game is in the top of the 5th inning. Homer Bailey started for the Athletics, and in 2 innings he gave up 8 hits and 9 earned runs. Did you hear what I said? 8 innings, 8 hits, 9 earned runs. And among those 8 hits were 3 home runs. We've heard that tune before.
Not a good night.
Not a good night at all. 1-2, the count on the Reds catcher. Anderson letting it go, and that one's lined into shallow right center, a base hit. Had enough air underneath that ball to clear second baseman Tyler Saladino, so Granderol is on, and I would imagine Sonny Gray will be up there trying to get a bunt down. Gray had an infield base hit in the 3rd inning. Sonny now 5 for 29 on the year. Tell you, this guy's a very good athlete.
Yes.
I mean, he can field his position. He can run. His pitching speaks for itself. He can help himself at times with a bat. Here's his stretch and the pitch, and he shows bunt and takes the strike.
Perfect example to let people know pitchers are good athletes. Some of them.
That was very good.
Yeah. Sonny's a very good one.
Yes, he is. That ball is bunted along the first base line, and it's a dandy picked up by Grandal, and on the move, he throws down to Saladino covering at first base.
Textbook fundies right there.
Yes, sir. Senzel has struck out. He's had a base on balls. You got to jog my memory. Could you bunt?
Oh, like a champ. I could put on a bunting clinic, Marty. I couldn't hit a lick, but I could bunt anything.
No, you hit 2 home runs now. Let's make sure we qualify that statement.
Accidentally.
I don't care. Ball hit the bat or bat hit the ball. In your case, it was ball hit the bat.
Yeah, and I just happened to be holding the bat.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah. But I could go out there and bunt against anybody.
Of course, you didn't get a whole lot of opportunity to do it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Here's a pitch to Senzel. He lays off the fastball. It cost him a strike. And Nick not happy about that call by Pat Hoberg. And now the plate umpire will visit verbally with him for just a brief moment. On that staff that you were a part of for so many years, who were the pitchers that could bunt?
Oh, Pete Harnish.
I know, that's true. He was one of the great ones.
Oh, he could do it with his eyes closed.
Yep.
I mean, he was so good at it. Denny Nagel was a good bunter.
Strike one pitch, and that's a ball.
I mean, I'm not including myself.
I understand that. I mean, when you name 2 people, we automatically run that number to 3 because you're involved in it, whatever it might be.
That's right. That's right. My claim to fame bunting was I laid down a sacrifice bunt off of Billy Wagner throwing 99 miles an hour.
Third base side?
Third base side. I almost beat it out, too.
1-1 pitch. That's a ball. I can understand that because you could run so well.
I could.
I mean, I can understand why it was a bang-bang play because you could motor down that line.
Well, I'm not undernourished these days, so I can't run anymore. But back then...
Well, you've not missed many meals.
Definitely not.
I'll grant you that.
Definitely not.
God bless you. I'm sure Sonny's a great cook.
She's a very good cook.
Yeah. 2 balls and 1 strike. A base hit would tie this game up. And that one's fouled away. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
See, now you got me thinking about how many sacrifice bunts I've had.
So you going to baseballreference.com?
Yes, I am. I'm not ashamed to say that I look up my stats.
I don't blame you. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Anderson sights a sign from Grandal, a good lead at second base. And the pitch, a swing, a line drive, base hit to left. They're not going to be able to score Gretterall. They got to hold him up. He's a catcher. He doesn't run very well. And so J.R. House had no choice once he hit that third base bag of throwing up the stop sign. So they got the hit. But the only thing that would have gotten Gretterall in would have been a gap shot or a ball hit hard down the line. So now it falls on the shoulders of Joey Votto, who's popped to third and fly to right. Votto settling in with runners at first and third. He left 2 men on base in the 3rd inning, and now here he is in the top of the 5th inning with runners on the corners. And he shoots it foul above the third base dugout. Reds baseball is always live with MLB At Bat. Follow the action with game tracking and video highlights, along with up-to-the-moment stats, standings, breaking news, and more. Download MLB At Bat tonight. It is your #1 app for the Cincinnati Reds. Fouled again, 0-2. Anderson trying to pitch out of trouble and leave 2 on for the 2nd time tonight. The team in front of this Milwaukee club, the Cubbies, playing at San Francisco tonight. And that's not the team you want to have to play right now, especially on the road. The Giants, with a win tonight, would get over 500 for the season, which would be nothing short of miraculous. Votto muscles it into center, and that's a base hit. We are tied at 1. He jumped on an 0-2 pitch and flared it into short center. You can tell that ball had base hit written all over it from the time it left the bat. Gratterall scores. Senzel goes to second. And the inning continues for Eugenio Suarez. And that prompts a visit to the mound from pitching coach Chris Hook, the Northern Kentucky native. In his first year under manager Craig Counsell, and he's just now reached the mound. There is no activity going on at the moment in the Milwaukee bullpen.
You talk about that San Francisco Giants team. I saw a stat. I believe they're 14-3 in the month of July. It's ridiculous.
They were 12 games under 500, I believe, on July the 1st.
Yeah.
And they are now 50 up and 12 games under 500.
Right.
And they are 50 up and 50 down going into play tonight. And it's really put them in a major quandary in terms of what they may or may not do come the trade deadline. It was a given that they were going to be sellers, and they've got some players that a lot of folks are interested in. Front runner, of course, Madison Bumgarner. Suarez takes ball 1. And now they really don't know what to do. It's going to be interesting to see what happens leading up to the July 31st trade deadline, which will be next Tuesday, or next Wednesday, a week from Wednesday. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's way outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, I personally think they should go all in. Bruce Bochy's last year, the guy's a legend. Why not give him one last chance?
Well, that's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is there's no way on God's earth they're good enough to win the World Series.
No.
Well, if you're going to go all in, and then your best you can hope for is a wild card, which means that you are guaranteed 1 game. You don't know whether you'll be home or away, and even if you win that game, then you got to play the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, it depends if they do add a top-notch starting pitcher and it gives them a chance in the playoffs. We know how good Madison Bumgarner is in the postseason.
No question. Here's a 3-0 pitch to Suarez, and he takes a strike.
But yeah, you're right. It would be very tough, and it's a very tough call. Glad I don't have to make that call. But as a huge fan of Bruce Bochy, I would love to see them make a run for him.
Hey, he's won 3 World Series. I mean, how much does he need? He's already in the Hall of Fame before he ever walks away from that job.
You're right, but he's just such a great guy. He's got the biggest head in baseball.
That's bad. Here's a pitch. Swung on and fouled away.
You're right, though. He's won a lot. 3 World Series.
You're right about him being a great guy. They haven't made many people better people than that guy is. This inning began with a 1-out single by Gratterall. Gray bunted him over. Senzel line to hit to left. Gratterall had to hold up at third, and Votto flares one into center to tie it up. It's a 3-2 count now on Eugenio Suarez. Chase Anderson readies himself on the mound and turns it loose. He takes strike 3. He is an absolute strikeout machine. The Reds, during the upcoming homestand, Ocean Spray Craisins. Ask for the Kroger meal deal during your next trip to Great American Ballpark and pick up Craisins at Kroger stores throughout Reds country. Ocean Spray Craisins. Tastes good and good for you. Now we got a tie game at 1, and it's the top of the batting order for the Kansas City Royals. Lorenzo Cain takes a strike on the inside corner. He has singled and struck out. And that one a swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2. If you're wondering, 75 pitches tonight for Sonny Gray. He kicks and delivers, and that's taken a bit low, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Houston 11-1 over Oakland in the 4th. Minnesota leading the Yankees in Minneapolis 7-5. That's in the 5th inning. Up high. The Indians are up 7-3 in Toronto. Now, Cleveland goes into play tonight 3 games back of Minnesota. You talk about a team coming out of nowhere now. And they are on the verge of getting Corey Kluber back.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. All 3. He was 0-2, and now he's 3-2 on Kane. The Indians caught fire, and when they did, boy, they have really turned it up. And Minnesota obviously knows now it's in a real dogfight the rest of the season because they've still got about 10 or 11 games left to play. Minnesota does with the Indians. Foul ball. Rocco Baldelli's done a great job as a rookie manager with the Minnesota Twins. I think anybody who listens to our broadcast knows the affection I have for Terry Francona. 3-2 pitch. That's ball, strike 3. Tell you what, Pat Hoberg, he takes a while. He just rings up Lorenzo Cain, who was not happy at all about the call. Credit Sonny Gray with his 4th punch out. He'll go to work now on Christian Yelich.
Well, it was a hanging breaking ball. Not a good pitcher's pitch, but it definitely was a strike.
Well, Yelich has been on both times. He's walked. He's also had a hit, and that hit turned out to be a run when he scored all the way from first on a double by Grandal. There's a strike. The pitch. High for a ball. 1-1. One ball, one strike with one out here in the bottom of inning number 5. And Yelich swings and sends a fly ball foul down the left field line. That ball is out of play. St. Louis at Pittsburgh, game tied at 2-2. They're in the top of the 8th inning. And the Cubs are underway in San Francisco. Chicago batting in the top of the 1st. White Sox in the 6th inning lead Miami in Chicago 7-1. Boston over the Tampa Bay Rays 8-1 in the 8th. Swing out a foul ball. That's a no foul ball. Just popped out of the mid of the catcher, and that's a punch out, and that's back-to-back. First Kane, now Yelich. He'll go to work on Grandal.
And that was a different type of breaking ball than the first breaking ball that he threw to Yelich. It was the one to Yelich, the first pitch was a backdoor for a strike, just get me over. And that one was a hard one, straight down in the dirt. You get a guy like Yelich to swing like that at a bad pitch, you know how nasty it is.
He doesn't swing at too many bad pitches.
No, he doesn't.
Grandal drove in his 52nd run, his last time at the plate. One ball and no strikes.
So I'm looking at Terry Francona's career. He only played 1 year in Cincinnati. Gosh, I felt like he was there longer.
Made it seem like it was longer for me, too.
Yeah.
His count is 2-0.
I won't ask.
He had the funniest line of all time. I've told the story a million times. But he goes all spring, and he's an extra outfielder, and then the guy who was supposed to open the season in right field got hurt 2 or 3 days before the season began, and he walked into the clubhouse on opening day. Francona did, and Pete had posted the lineup of that Francona in right field. And Terry went into Pete and said, "Pete, I told you I wanted to play I wanted to be a big league ball player. I never said I wanted to play." He's a funny man, boy. There's ball 3, and then he promptly hit a home run on opening day.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
He was some kind of great collegiate player. Won the Golden Spikes Award at Arizona, and had a lot of injuries in his major league career that really hurt him, and was hard to come back and be the kind of hitter that he had been when he was in college and was a #1 draft pick and did some good things early in his career before the injury took over. 3-1 pitch and a bouncer up the middle. There's the second baseman bending to get it, and Peraza throws him out, and the inning is over. So the beat rolls on. Coors Field, Miller Park in Milwaukee, one beer or another. At the top of the sixth inning, where it'll be Yasiel Puig to stand in to hit off of Chase Anderson, who through 5 innings has given the Reds 1 run on 5 hits, and 3 of those 5 hits came in the last inning when they finally were able to dent the plate. So now Puig, he walked back in the second and then was thrown out stealing. He fouls. Western and Southern Financial Group wants to strike out cancer all season long. Every time a Reds pitcher strikes out a batter, Western and Southern will make a donation to the Barrett Cancer Center. As Western and Southern says, when it comes to fighting cancer, we are all in this one together. High pop-up out of play.
Well, in your defense, Marty, Miller Coors is together now.
As a matter of fact, they are. That's correct.
I mean, I don't know why I know that, but, well, yeah, I do know why I know that.
Because you're a connoisseur of good beer.
I am.
Puig says timeout. He was poised at the plate with that bat cocked, and Anderson and Battery made Grandal having trouble getting on the same page. Puig steps back in now with the windup and the pitch on the way, and that's foul.
Fans, it's time for Ask Marty, where you can ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any subject, baseball or non-baseball, presented by CBTS. Today's question, Marty, comes from tbramlett@yahoo.com. Okay, with Hollywood remaking movies frequently, if Major League was ever redone, who should play Bob Uecker's character, Harry Doyle?
Well, I went right to the radio booth of the Milwaukee Brewers to ask that very question. Here's a hard smash into left center field. That's a base hit. Quickly over is Yelich, and here comes Puig to second, and he is in sliding with a 2-base hit. And he had double on his mind from the time he left the batter's box. He never broke stride, and he goes in with a head-first slide, and that's the way the sixth inning begins for the Redlegs. I first asked Bob who would play Harry Doyle if they made a movie of Bob Uecker's life, and he said Jim Carrey.
Is that right?
Yeah, it gets better than that now. It gets a whole lot better than that.
Oh, gosh, I can't wait for this.
Then I asked a couple of other guys in the booth. Here's a stretch and the pitch to Peraza, and he shows bunt but takes the ball. His radio partner, Jeff Levering, and Lane Grindle also does radio. And Lane Grindle said Fabio. And then Jeff Levering said, here's a 1-0 pitch. He went around. Robert De Niro.
Oh, my God.
So you take your pick. Uecker said Carey. Grindle said Fabio. Levering said Robert De Niro. And Marty said, you got to be kidding me. Here's a 1-1 pitch. He swings and hits it foul to right. Uecker, I knew it was no need for me to answer it. I need to go down there and get my good friend's opinion. He drops a Jim Carrey on me, and that's about the most unlikely choice in the history of mankind.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's one that's hard to
I guess he got to play Harry Doyle would be Bob Uecker. 1-2 the count. Reds have the go-ahead run at second with nobody out. Anderson looking back that way, now pitching, and that one's hit foul to right again. And Peraza is trying to hit the ball the other way.
Love it.
I'm making a point because not too many people do it today.
Right.
That's another one of the fundamentals of baseball that seemingly has gone the way of the dinosaur. You got a runner at second, and most guys are up there swinging from their butts to try and hit it in the third deck and left and fail to advance a runner. Give Peraza a lot of credit. He's trying like the Dickens to hit the ball the other way.
Well, even the first pitch, he squared around to possibly bunt.
Yep. And he strikes out swinging. He was unable to advance a runner. You're saying, what difference does it make? Makes a lot of difference. Because you're playing team baseball when you're trying to get that runner to third base with less than 2 outs.
That's right. And he did it right there all the way up to 2 strikes. He was still trying to punch the ball the other way.
4 strikeouts for Chase Anderson, who will now get Phillip Ervin. And Phillips had a tough time tonight. He struck out in the second swinging and got called out on strikes in the fourth. That's a strike. Nothing going on in the Reds bullpen, but there is activity underway in the Milwaukee bullpen.
Chase Anderson has not pitched past the 6th inning all season, and he's only thrown over 100 pitches once this season. He's a guy that usually gets to the 6th, if that, and then that's done. He's done.
Fastball up. Matt Albers, a right-hander who's been around the block a few times, warming up in the Milwaukee bullpen out beyond the wall in left center. We started this with a 2-base hit. Peraza strikes out, and now a 1-1 count on Phillip Ervin. Foul ball. This reminder, cheer on the Reds when they take on the Pirates Wednesday, July the 31st. Plus, it's your chance to play Showdown, the DraftKings single-game fantasy baseball contest. Put your baseball knowledge to the test. Visit DraftKings.com for details. Eligibility restrictions apply. Line drive to right field. That's a hit. They'll not be able to bring him. They'll hold him up, and the throw comes toward the plate, and now they got Ervin hung up between first and second, and they're running him down, and the tag is applied. Safe. No, they said safe. How about that? Terrible base running by Phillip Ervin, and he might have gotten out of it. No, apparently now they're changing the decision. Or did they?
Yeah, it looked like Greg Gibson changed it and said that he is out.
Well, he sure showed safe first. And now with David Bell coming out, they're going to talk about it. I'll tell you, sometimes this team can't get out of its own way. I mean, Ervin with terrible base running and got hung up between first and second. Nothing that Puig could do at third base but watch. And now David Bell, whether he's contented or not with the decision, has started back toward the dugout and now turns and comes back to a trio of umpires that he's talking to about 10, 12 feet up the third base foul line.
And this may be to give instant replay more of a chance to see if he's clearly out or not.
Nine, 3, 4, 6 is the way the outplay went on Ervin. That is an awful base running right there. That's a terrible decision in a game like this when this team's having a hell of a time winning anyway, and you got to play like that when there is absolutely no reason for you to try to go to second. Or if you're inclined to, which obviously he wasn't, you better have some idea and pick up the throw. He didn't do any of that. And now, rather than having runners at first and third with 1 out, you got Puig at third with 2 out.
Well, the problem there, I think Ervin expected Puig to make a dash for home, to attempt to score, so maybe he was trying to draw the cutoff, but J.R. House held up Puig at third early. That's where Irvin should have caught that and got right back.
Well, now David Bell leaves and heads back to the dugout, but manager Craig Counsell has emerged from the first base dugout and heads toward the mound, and he has already signaled that he wants a change. So the Brewers have made a call to the bullpen. Tri-State 811 partners in safety want you to know what's below. Contact 811 before up to that last play, which was abysmal. Yasiel Puig not totally without some measure of guilt. He was standing down there at third base with his batting helmet off, and then all of a sudden he woke up to the idea that Irvin was trapped between first and second due to some terrible base running. Then he put his helmet back on and got back into the game a bit. It's amazing. 1 ball and no strikes. Iglesias, a .333 batter with runners in scoring position. 2-0 the count. Alvarez straightens up, throws to the plate, swung out, line drive, base hit into center field. Iglesias does it again and drives Puig in, and the Reds have taken a 2-1 lead.
And I almost don't want to wear it out and say that Jose Iglesias has been money all year with runners in scoring position, but he just does it again.
Well, he's one of the guys that there may be some interest in at the trade deadline. And I'll just reflect back to what I said about 7 weeks ago. I have a hard time understanding, and maybe there has been negotiations to try to extend him beyond this year, which he's playing on a 1-year contract, with a job he's done defensively and the clutch hitting he's provided with this club. My feeling is you offer him a deal. If he doesn't take it, at least you can say we tried.
Right.
But to not even try, that's something else again. Here's Gratterall, the catcher, who has a hit tonight, and he checks his swing on a slow breaking ball. 34th RBI of the year for Iglesias. So the Reds have taken the lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Votto banged in a run in the 5th. Iglesias does it here in the 6th. Runner going, pitch is fouled. If you're listening tonight on your car or truck radio, please remember to buckle your safety belt. This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. You're not buckled up, what's holding you back? The completed line for Chase Anderson. He allowed 7 hits and 2 runs, both earned, with 2 walks and 4 strikeouts over 5 2/3 innings of work. Ball a strike. The pitch. Hit hard and fielded by the third baseman, and the throw on to second. The inning is over. Reds 2, Brewers 1. Moustakas, Aguilar, Thames, the 3, 4, 5, and 6 batters in the Milwaukee lineup, and the Reds have activity underway in their bullpen right now. Not wasting any time at all, leaving anything to chance. Moustakas walked back in the 1st and flied out in the 3rd. Reds find themselves in another close ball game. Gray just now concluding his warm-ups, and Moustakas will stroll toward the plate. Same time tomorrow night for game number 2, and it'll be a pitching matchup of Tanner Roark against right-hander Zach Davies. And then Wednesday, Lucas Sims will start for the Reds. Only his 2nd start of the year. His first one was nothing short of brilliant. Jolise Chassin will be on the mound for the Brewers. Luis Castillo will open the Colorado series at 7:10 on Friday night at home. Here's Moustakas, and the pitch is a strike. 89 throws to the plate tonight for Sonny Gray. And that one bounces up there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Figure this will be it for Gray. Now, hopefully he'll get through this 6th inning with the lead, and then they'll hit for him leading off the 7th. Ground ball hit hard, but the second baseman playing him at short right. Peraza throws him out. Thinking about ground balls, if you're scoring with us at home, the final out of the 5th inning, I said it was Peraza throwing Grandal out. It was Iglesias. So not 4-3, but 6-3. Aguilar double leading off the 4th, and some fine pitching by Gray kept him from scoring. That now becomes a very big inning in favor of Sonny Gray. So much has been made about reuniting Sonny Gray with the man who was his pitching coach at Vanderbilt and now his pitching coach at the big league level, and Derek Johnson. They both live in Nashville. They have grown very close over the years. There's a strike. And Sonny Gray articulated it about as good as anybody I've ever heard when he said that Derek Johnson has taught me how to pitch twice.
Oh,
that's a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1. And a ball, and not by much.
You know, watching Sonny Gray come up with Oakland, you always saw that potential of being dominant out there, but nothing like this year, as you mentioned, reuniting with Derek Johnson. It's domination this whole season.
Swung on and foul back. Who was your pitching coach in Miami?
Brad Kelly was one, and Laser Collazo was the other. I had 2 different ones.
Did they help you?
Oh, immensely. But nothing like when I got to the big leagues with Don Gullett and Tom Hume.
Well, you had 2 dandies there now.
Yes, I did.
1-2 on Aguilar. Pitch. Hit foul and out of play.
You know, college, I was taught how to throw strikes. In the big leagues, I was taught how to throw effective strikes, not just strikes that are quality strikes down the strike zone. Learning how to pitch.
1 ball and 2 strikes and holding on Aguilar. Hit hard but foul at third base. .57 strikes, 40 balls, 97 on the night. Has retired Moustakas on a rocket. Ground ball to second, and now he's maintaining the count advantage against the dangerous Aguilar with the count holding at 1-2, and Eric Thames on deck. Foul ball. Aguilar really making great work here at a point in time, I'm sure, where Sonny would like to get some easy outs. He got one in Moustakas' case as he grounded out early in the count. Not so much here with Jesus Aguilar. Pitch. He started around and checked his swing on a breaking ball. 2-2.
And this is the inning that Sonny pretty much knows that it's his last inning no matter what. So he's emptying the tank right here.
Two balls, two strikes. Swing and a miss. He made a pitch right there. Down and away, and Aguilar lunged at it. And Gray has his fourth strike, his sixth strikeout. And he's punched out 3 of the last 5 batters he's faced. Actually, 4 of the last 6. And now with 2 down, here is Eric Thames, who's bounced out and struck out. That's in the dirt. Ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. After Thames, Orlando Arcia. Trying to get him out in order for what would be the 3rd time tonight. That's a strike. He got Thames, Arcia, and Saladino in the 2nd, and then got Kane, Yelich, and Grandal in the 5th. Full foul between the bag and the coaching box at first. Michael Lorenzen now is warming up in the Reds bullpen. And a 2-2 count on Eric Thames. Gray kicks and delivers, and it's strike 3 call, and Thames knew it. And I'm here to tell you, Sonny Gray is finishing with a flourish here. He gets an out.
100 WLW.
Top of the 7th inning, Reds lead 2-1. Now there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. It is right-hander Adrian Hauser, 3-4 on the season, 4.14 ERA. Adrian Hauser on the mound.
Also part of that double switch for the Brewers. Ben Gamble now into the game, and he'll take over in left field. Gamble will bat in the pitcher spot in the order. Christian Yelich still in the game. He moves from left to right. And the right fielder Eric Thames is out. The pitcher batting in his spot, the 6th spot in the order. Jesse Winker will bat for the pitcher. Sonny Gray's night, as expected, is done, and Jesse Winker takes a breaking ball in there for strike 1. And what a night it was for Sonny Gray. He was outstanding tonight. And Jesse Winker straightens out of the way of a pitch in. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jesse Winker. Sonny Gray's line tonight, 6 innings, 1 run allowed, 4 hits. And Winker takes down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Just 2 walks, 7 strikeouts for Sonny Gray. He retired the final 7 batters he faced, and he struck out 5 of those 7. Held the Brewers to just 1 for 18 with runners in scoring position. The pitch inside. 3 balls a strike. He has been so good against the Brewers. He was brilliant again tonight.
Now that makes 18 of his 20 starts, 3 runs or less. Pretty amazing what he's doing out there.
3 balls and a strike on Jesse Winker in the pitch, and this is grounded to the right side. They had him played perfectly. It's scooped up by Saladino, the second baseman. He'll throw in time to get the out on Winker at first base. Back to the top of the order now. It's Nick Senzel. Senzel, a single in the fifth. Walked in the third, struck out looking his first time up. He bats with nobody on and one man out in the pitch. And this is bounced the left side. Gloved by Arcia in the hole. He has to hurry his throw, but gets it over there in plenty of time to retire the speedy Red center fielder, Nick Senzel. Two are quickly gone in the seventh inning, ahead of Joey Votto. Votto has a base hit tonight. He is 1 for 3, and his hit in the fifth was a big one, an RBI single, which scored Juan Gratterall to tie this game at 1. The Reds cashed in on Yasiel Puig's hustle double, leading off the sixth to take the lead. And now Votto lines one right past short and into left center field. His second hit today. And he beat the shift right there because the Brewers had loaded up the right side, and Mike Moustakas was the only one over there. And he was actually in the hole at short. That was hit more towards the middle, and an easy base hit there with 2 outs for Joey Votto. Danny, I think even with normal positioning, that ball's right between short and the second base bag. So
it was hit pretty hard too.
Yeah, no chance to get Votto in that one. Now Eugenio Suarez, first ball swinging. He hits one high and deep, left center field. Kane back, leaps at the wall. It is gone. A 2-run home run for Eugenio Suarez. The Reds stretch the lead. It's now 4-1 Cincinnati.
Huge. Perfect timing right there for Suarez to jump on the pitch early in the count. Got 2 punch outs on the day so far. He wasn't going to let this count get deep, and he put a charge into that one.
His team leading 25th home run of the year. That gives him 62 RBIs. And here's Yasiel Puig now with the bases empty and 2 outs. Hauser into his line, he delivers and misses down and away with a breaking ball, and the count is 1-0.
Just watching Lorenzo Cain go back on that, he almost just made it look like he was going to catch that.
He did. I mean, it was up onto the walkway up there over the left center field wall. The pitch misses, and it's 2-0 on Yasiel Puig. I mean, it was well struck. Now the 2-0 pitch, and Puig sends a fly to right. Yelich is over and in, and he'll make the catch. And the Reds are finished off in the 7th, but not before Eugenio Suarez.
Reds over Brewers here heading into the bottom of the 7th inning. Michael Lorenzen is the new pitcher on the mound, making his 46th appearance of the season. He's pretty much pitched in every situation, every role out of the bullpen this season. He's been a closer, been a setup guy, and been a long man. He'll try to hold the 3-run lead here.
He will indeed, as he deals with Orlando Arcia, who takes a first pitch strike. It is 0-1. Reds are up 4-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Great effort turned in by Sonny Gray. Now the pitch is weakly rolled to the right side. Gloved by the second baseman, Peraza. He'll throw in plenty of time to get Orlando Arcia for the first out of the 7th. And that'll bring up Tyler Saladino. A home run by Eugenio Suarez. Traveled an estimated 407 feet. Reds home run was powered by NOCO. NOCO start dead batteries. Nobody on, 1 out. Tyler Saladino up, and he takes inside, ball 1. Saladino was hit by a pitch his last time up, grounded to third, back in the 2nd inning. 1 ball, no strikes, the pitch, and that's low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Reds have scored in each of the last 3 innings. Single tallies in the 5th and 6th, and then the 2 hung in the 7th. The pitch outside. 3-0 on Saladino. Michael Lorenzen last pitched on Saturday back at home in Cincinnati and worked 2 innings, gave up a run, but struck out 2. And the pitch, Saladino looks to strike. It is 3-1. Lorenzen ended up getting the save on that day. It was his 6th save of the year. 3 balls and a strike on Saladino. Right-hander against right-hander, and the 3-1 pitch just missed a little low with the breaking ball, ball 4. That brings up Ben Gamble, who came in last inning as part of that double switch. He's batting with a runner at first and 1 out. Michael Lorenzen could use a double play ball off the bat of Ben Gamble, .252 hitter this year. And the pitch is taken low and in. That's a 1-0 count on Gamble. 5 homers, 24 knocked in this year. He has not hit into a double play all season. A 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Lorenzen challenged him the fastball up. Gamble went after it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And in this situation, especially after the big 2-run home run from Suarez, up 4-1, that's what you'd like to see out of Lorenzen. Just go out there and challenge these guys. Don't give them free bases.
And Gamble takes down an in. Missed that time with a fastball. And Gamble finds himself ahead of the count.
You know, especially with the top of the lineup coming up, with Lorenzo Cain and Christian Yelich waiting in the wings back there. You got to challenge these guys.
You don't want a lot of traffic on the bases when this lineup turns over. The 2-1 is weakly hit foul over by the Brewers' first base dugout. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Amir Garrett, though, is up in the Reds bullpen.
Well, we know who he's up warming up for.
The next left-hander due for the Brewers would be Christian Yelich, a couple hitters away.
Yeah, that guy.
Yep. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Gamble. Lorenzen turns and fires to first high, but Votto able to go up and get it.
I know this is looking ahead, but ideally, you'd like Lorenzen to finish this inning and then have Garrett be able to throw to Yelich, Grandal hitting right-handed, and Moustakas if it gets that far.
The 2-2 runner goes. The pitch low, throw to second, not in time. Close. Saladino with the head first dive, able to get in just ahead of the throw from Juan Gratterall. And the pitch was strike 3 called to Ben Gamble, so he's down on strikes. Now back to the top of the order with Lorenzo Cain. Second stolen base of the year, by the way, for Saladino. He's in scoring position with Lorenzo Cain to the plate. Cain went 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts today against Sonny Gray, and he swings and misses the first pitch breaking ball from Michael Lorenzen, strike 1.
Steady diet of breaking balls all night against Lorenzo Cain.
Check of second base, and here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good block by Gratterall. And the count evens up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reds are up by 3 with the Brewers batting in the home half of the 7th here in Miller Park. You talked about having Amir Garrett coming in with a fresh start in the 8th if the Reds are able to get Lorenzo Cain here. And if all goes well, He would face all three batters that would be due up that inning. The pitch missing, but it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count right now on Lorenzo Cain. And first things first, you've got to be able to finish off Lorenzo Cain. Amir Garrett has shown he's able to get lefties and right-handers out, so you can have him in there if you want, situationally and in a setup role. The 2-1. And that missed down and away. Another breaking ball from Michael Lorenzen. And it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Lorenzo Cain. You certainly don't want Christian Yelich, the major league leader in home runs, coming to the plate representing the tying run.
No.
The 3-1 pitch, fouled back to the backstop. Now the count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Right-hander against right-hander, runner at second, 2 outs. And now the catcher, Juan Gratterall, wants to go out and have a word with Michael Lorenzen. As we talked about earlier, the Brewers have climbed into this race not just in the NL Central. Right now entering play 2 games back of the Cubs, but they've also got a half-game lead for the second wild card in the National League, just ahead of the Cardinals and Phillies. Diamondbacks and Giants just 2.5 games out of that second wild card spot. The Brewers have the Cubs coming in next after the Reds. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Lorenzo Cain with a pitch. Just off the inside corner with a breaking ball. Well, that'll bring up Christian Yelich, and that also will bring Reds manager David Bell out of the third base dugout, and he will go straight to home plate umpire Pat
Connell tomorrow morning at 5 on 700 WLW.
4-1, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 men on base, and Amir Garrett is the new pitcher for the Reds. Lefty has made 1 appearance since being activated from the IL. That appearance was on Saturday against the Cardinals. 1 inning, 2 punch outs. He's on for his 44th time of the season. 1.66 ERA.
He looked awfully good in that outing. Well, the Reds have made some other changes defensively. Michael Lorenzen will remain in the game, and Lorenzen will play left field. Moving from left to right is Phillip Ervin. Yasiel Puig is out of the game. The pitcher now hitting in the 4th spot on the Reds' order. Lorenzen, of course, batting 9th. But right now, the focus is at the plate. Amir Garrett against Christian Yelich. Left-hander against left-hander. Yelich has walked, singled, and struck out tonight. Garrett comes set, letter high, and to the plate. Yelich takes the first pitch, breaking ball low, 1-0. This is the 7th time that these two have squared off. Yelich 1 for 6 against Amir Garrett. That 1 hit, a single. The 1-0 in the dirt outside. It's a 2-ball, no strike count. Well, you don't like to face Christian Yelich when he represents the tying run. You really don't like to face him in that situation behind the count, 2 balls, no strikes.
No, I'm still disappointed that it even got to this point. I felt like he had Lorenzo Cain dead to rights, and then just kind of missed his spot a few times.
The 2-0, and it's a fastball in. 3 balls, no strikes on Christian Yelich. Yasmani Grandal waiting in the on-deck circle. Garrett home with a 3-0. Ball 4. Missed in again with a fastball, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Christian Yelich. And the Brewers have loaded the bases with 2 outs in the 7th. Tying run is on, and now Yasmani Grandal and Derek Johnson, Reds pitching coach, is on his way to the mound. Grandal, switch hitter, will bat from the right side after this conversation on the mound wraps up. The Brewers have him loaded with 2 men out. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Reds are leading it 4-1. Derek Johnson returns back to the Reds dugout. Amir Garrett back on top of the mound. Yasmani Grandal in the box. Taps the plate. Gets that back foot set. And now he's ready to go to work against the Reds left-hander. He gets the sign. He sets. And he's home with the first pitch to Grandal. And it's just off the outside corner. A fastball that missed. Ball 1. Grandal with his 3rd inning double. He's now hit safely in 6 straight. The 1-0. And Garrett just missed off the outside corner with ball 2.
Plate gets smaller later in the game, especially with runners on in scoring position.
Grandal, no slouch at the plate. That's why he's in the number 3 spot in the order. One of the top hitting catchers of the National League in the pitch. He fouls it away down the right field line. 2 balls and a strike.
And I still like this matchup with Garrett against Grandal, especially right-handed. Grandal, his power side is more of a left-handed hitter, a little bit weaker from the right side. And as you mentioned earlier, Garrett can get both lefties and righties out.
2 balls, 1 strike on Grandal. Garrett through the signs. The high hold of the 2-1. Swing and a pop foul right side, back into the seats. And the count has gone from 2 balls and no strikes on the Brewer catcher to even. This crowd getting loud here at Miller Park in Milwaukee.
In fact, Garrett's numbers, you look at the average against, are better against the righties. 177 batting average against righties as opposed to 194 against lefties.
Give you an idea of how badly David Bell wants this win. Raisel Iglesias is up in the Reds bullpen. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A breaking ball down and in. Grandal swung right over top.
On we go, top of the 8th inning after Amir Garrett gets a big punch out at the expense of Yasmani Grandal to leave the bases loaded. And now Jose Peraza leads things off here in the 8th and takes the first pitch for a strike. Peraza 1 for 3 tonight as the pitch misses downstairs to even the count at 1-1. Adrian Hauser summoned from the bullpen in the last inning and, of course, gave up the 2-run home run to Eugenio Suarez. It really gives the Reds some breathing room. That one is hammered well back into right center. Had a nice sound to it, and it's caught. A great running grab by Lorenzo Cain on the dead run. And this guy just makes big play after big play after big play. That baby looked like an extra base hit. Not only was he able to catch it, but he was able to avoid contact with Christian Yelich in right field and stretch out and make the catch and hang on while banging into the wall.
Amazing.
Really is.
And he is so good. He stopped, looked at the MVP, and still got up and caught that ball.
1 ball and no strikes on Phillip Ervin. And the pitch off the outside edge. Runs the count to 2 balls and no strikes. At the moment, both bullpens are, well, let's see. Iglesias may well be up in the Reds bullpen. That pitch is low, and the count's 3-0. I guess David Bell is going to... I got to believe Garrett is going to begin the bottom of the 8th because they got Moustakas leading the inning off. But we'll see. There's ball 4. Irvin aboard for the second time tonight. Here's Iglesias. He had the base hit in the 6th inning to drive in the go-ahead run before an inning later Suarez cracked the 2-run long one. And now back to the mound. This time it is pitching coach Chris Hook to have a meet with Adrian Hauser before Iglesias stands in to bat. Cheer on the Reds when they take on the Rockies this Friday night. Stick around after the game and enjoy a spectacular fireworks show and concert featuring Zed, presented by the Ohio Lottery. For tickets, visit Reds.com/150. Reds have out-hit the Brewers tonight 10-4. And the Cubbies are winning in San Francisco 3-0 after 3.5 innings. Grounded foul. Hard but foul at third. Nice play by the ball boy. Playing that baby on the carom off the wall, the side wall, and reached up and picked it off.
Like it was nothing.
Like he was falling out of bed. No problem, I got it. Sit down, take a big deep breath. There goes the runner. He got a good jump, and the ball gets off the mid of Grandal. That'll be a stolen base for Phillip Ervin, his 2nd of the year. So the Reds have a chance to pick up still another run.
As you mentioned earlier, I got to believe Iglesias is out there for the second hitter of next inning because of the double switch.
Correct. It would make no sense to bring Iglesias on. Here's a ground ball hit down to third. Moustakas with a throw on to first, and they're 2 out. Ervin stays at second, and the batter will be Gratterall, the catcher. It should be pointed out that Milwaukee was playing with a very depleted bench tonight. We mentioned the quad problem that had second baseman here a late scratch from the lineup. And on top of that, Ryan Braun is not even here tonight. Braun instead went to the West Coast, or wherever he needed to be, not necessarily the West Coast, but he went to the funeral of Tyler Skaggs, the young man who tragically died apparently in his sleep while the Angels were playing a series in Houston a couple of weeks ago, and they had the funeral today. He and Braun were very close. There's a swing and a miss. Expected to be back, Braun is tomorrow. So they didn't have but 2 available bats on their bench when the game got underway. 0-2 the count on Gratterall, who's 1 for 3 and scored a run. One ball and 2 strikes. Reds 4, Brewers 1, top of the 8th. Now the pitch. Swing and a foul. Had John Fay on back in the 2nd inning and mentioned the fact that Tucker Barnhart's getting ready to embark on a rehab that will apparently cover 4 ball games. If all goes well and he's there for just 4, chances are he'd be back and on the roster by a week from tomorrow night. Ground ball slapped slowly toward third, and from the grass, Moustakas throws to first. No runs, no hits. As expected, Amir Garrett has gone back to the mound, albeit I would imagine for only one batter, as we talked about in the last inning. You'll get Mike Moustakas, and then, well, we'll see. Maybe not, because you've got a right-handed batter in Aguilar, but then you've got another, left-handed batting Thames is out of the lineup. So we'll see how it plays out, but probably just for this one hitter. Moustakas has walked, flied out, and grounded to second. Left-hander against left-hand batter, and he's in with a pitch, and it's a strike.
Well, the only position player the Brewers have left is Manny Pena, the backup catcher.
That's it. When they brought Ben Gamble in as part of a double switch to play left field in the 7th inning, that took care of one of them. Swing and a miss. Moustakas' lifetime is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts against Garrett. So Garrett trying to put him away with 3 pitches. And he just missed low and not by much.
How does Moustakas not even swing at that?
I don't know.
Too nasty.
That's a good question. That's probably because he was incapable of hitting it.
Right. I've heard hitters say that.
Yep. That one is in the air, but it'll be out of play. Come see the Reds. Be sure you download a Ballpark. It's the official Great American Ballpark app. Check in at the game to unlock special offers, exclusive content, and seat upgrades. Download Ballpark for free and play Baseball Bingo presented by Dynegy. One and two and holding. Two and two. All the while, Iglesias continues to warm up. Now the 2-2 pitch. And it's grounded into left field for a base hit. He flat went against the shift and hit a hard ground ball to where the third baseman would normally have been playing. And that's a leadoff single, and as expected, David Bell straight out of the dugout and straight to plate umpire Pat Hoberg. That would normally indicate a double switch, and that's what it's going to be. It looks like Josh Van Meter is coming off the bench. He's making all kind of hand signals.
Bottom of the 8th, nobody out. Runner on first for the Brewers. The Reds still lead 4-1. New pitcher on the mound is Raisel Iglesias, on for the 41st time of the season. Over the last 4 years, his 28 saves of more than 1 inning are the most by any reliever in the major leagues. See if he can add to that total tonight.
Well, he's going to have to if this coach is going to win this game. Here's Jesus Aguilar. Other changes. Josh Van Meter comes off the bench. He goes to left field. Michael Lorenzen moves to right, and Phillip Ervin out of the lineup. Van Meter will be batting 4th. Aguilar double back in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3. First pitch is taken for a strike. This would be a legitimate 2-inning save if he can get it. That's a quick throw over. Facing Aguilar, who lifetime against Iglesias is 2 for 6. And one of those hits a solo home run. Fastball in for a call strike. 0-2 the count on the big, burly, right-handed batting Jesus Aguilar, former Indians product. Trying to do some damage here in the 8th and fouls it back. Infield a double play depth. Moustakas leading at first base. And that pitch missed and not by much away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The bullpen trying to save it for Sonny Gray, who tonight did what he does, and that's pitch well. 4 hits and a run over 6 innings. He punched out 7, walked 2. Since then, we've seen Lorenzen, Amir Garrett, and now Raisel Iglesias, and a liner up the middle for a base hit. So here come the Brewers again. Back-to-back hits. A single by Moustakas off of Garrett, a broken bat single up the middle by Aguilar against Iglesias. Derek Johnson trying to ward off a catastrophic situation, heading out to the mound immediately to visit with Raisel Iglesias as we take another look at our Cincinnati Bell trivia question. 50 years ago in 1969, the Brewers franchise was born in the form of the Seattle Pilots. What member of that Pilots team had won 2 batting titles prior to joining Seattle in its expansion season? Was it A, Tommy Davis, B, Tommy Harper, or C, Mike Hegan? You said
A, Tommy Davis. Is that the right choice? Tommy Davis, right? That's A?
Is that who you want?
I'm sticking with it.
You are.
I am.
Before I even open this, I'm going to tell you that you are 100% correct.
Is that right?
Yeah. Tommy Davis won back-to-back National League batting titles as a member of the LA Dodgers in 1962 and 1963.
I mean, I'm really good at these trivia.
You're rolling now, big boy.
Rolling.
Here is Keston Hiura. Could not play tonight because of a quad problem, but he is pinch hitting, and he takes it down and away for a ball. So Craig Counsell throwing the other team a curve here. I think everybody was under the impression that they were only 2 batters available on the bench, but his appearance at the plate means that it was 3 all along. And this young man is a force to be reckoned with. The 1-0 pitch. And he takes a pitch, and it's ball 2.
I would imagine he can't run very well if that was true that he had a quad injury. So this is a perfect opportunity for a double play ball. Just get him to hit it into the ground.
Well, he's a .331 batter with 9 home runs and 23 runs batted in. Iglesias deals, and now he's 3-0. And here we go again. Pitch away from loading him up with nobody out. And he walked him and missed terribly. And they are loaded. Here's Orlando Arcia. Arcia's 1 for 8 lifetime against Raisel Iglesias, and they brought a pinch runner off the bench.
It's Kyle Davies.
Well, the young man is going to be the second game pitcher in this series. Zach Davies now running at first. Here's Arcia. Ball 1.
This is a guy that's 3 for his last 30.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to challenge somebody here and not continue to give them free bases.
Ustaka's third, Aguilar second, and Davies running at first for Cura. That pitch is taken, and the count's 2 balls and no strikes. Right now, this Milwaukee ball club very, very satisfied in standing up there and at least forcing Iglesias to throw a strike. And he cannot do it. The count's 3 balls and no strikes. I'll tell you what, it's beyond my comprehension how this ball club continues to play certain people in certain spots and run certain pitchers out there all the time. And it makes no difference whether they do the job or not. They're going to continue to keep being called from the bullpen. This guy has been shaky all year long. There's a strike. The tying runs are on base, nobody out. A single, and a base on balls. Arcia with a 3-1 count and waiting. And here's a pitch. And he swings and misses, and the count is full. Outfield straight away. The infield a double play depth. They gladly give up a run to get 2 outs in this situation. Here's a payoff. And he hits it out of play, a foul ball. Fans no more need to eat out when you can enjoy the ultimate appetizer from home with JTM's new Craft House Creations beer, cheese, and pretzel bites. Find his favorite game day snack in your grocer's freezer, JTM. Let's create great dishes together. Time called. He took too much time. Citing the sign from Gratterall. Time called by Arcia, who's back in the box. 0 for 3 tonight, 3 for his last 30. The 3-2 pitch again. He pops him out of play, and to Arcia's credit, he's fouling off strike pitches, which right now has become something of a rare commodity for Raisel Iglesias.
Well, that's all he should be allowed to throw is fastballs. Right. Until he can command his fastball, the other stuff is not going to work. It's more effective if you can throw your fastball for a strike.
He'll try him one more time. And he went. That's a strikeout. They had to appeal to first base umpire Greg Gibson. And he shows the outside, and that's all for Arcia with no argument. And now here's Tyler Saladino. Now here's a kid right here that can ingratiate himself to the fans here in Milwaukee. He has received nothing but their ire because he happened to be the guy that they brought up and basically designated for assignment Hernan Perez, who was a very popular member of this club. And Saladino has not hit a living lick. But here he is with the bases loaded, and he sends a drive to center field deep, and that ball is gone. Tyler Saladino has just ingratiated himself to the fandom in Milwaukee. First pitch hitting, line drive over the wall in center, his second home run. And what was a 3-1 Reds lead, 3-run Reds lead, is now a 1-run deficit. Milwaukee has taken a 5-4 lead.
And back-to-back days, grand slams for Tyler Saladino. Both his home runs have been grand salamis.
Well, you can turn those boos to cheers with one swing of the bat in this sport. And this is another textbook example of a closer who you really can't count on from time to time, appearance to appearance. Yet, never is there any thought about making changes. I guarantee you Michael Lorenzen at this stage of the year is going to give a better accounting of himself than this guy out there right now. Ball is hit foul, and the count is 0-2, and I guarantee you, well, no, they don't have Josh Hader warming up in the bullpen. They've got a right-hander warming up, and the Reds will have Lorenzen, Senzel, and Votto in the top of the ninth. Ben Gamble with a count of 0-2. Fastball misses. And that one is fouled away. That is the 9th home run that Iglesias has given up this season in 42 2/3 innings of pitching. Now, you do the math on that. That is a home run about less than 5 innings. And here's a high fly ball hit down the right field line. That ball headed toward the corner, and that's foul.
Well, the home runs become a problem when you walk guys before the home runs. You can live with the solo home runs, but too many walks.
Strike 3 call. 2 out in the inning. Here's Lorenzo Cain. I'll close the book on Garrett. He works a third of an inning, gives up a hit and a run with a strikeout and a walk. The other 3 runs charged to Raisel Iglesias. Swing and a miss. So his earned run average at 404 is going to skyrocket as a result of this outing tonight. And 404 for a closer is not good at all. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's foul.
I'm shocked that Josh Hader's not warming up down there.
Unless he got a lot of work in Arizona. And they just going to give him a night off no matter what. Ground ball up the middle. That'll be a ball that hits the second base bag. Karam's out into right center. Very quickly, Lorenzen gets to it to hold Cain to a base hit. Now here comes David Bell. Reds going to go to their bullpen again. A disaster. Grand slam home run by Saladino. Reds changing pitchers for the second time here in the 8th inning. Iglesias could not get it done. We'll be back in a moment.
Reds fans, make Great American Ballpark your family day destination this Sunday. Thanks to Klosterman Bakery, you can get half.
32nd time of the season, 0-1 with the 5.13 ERA. Try to be out there to put out the fire against Christian Yelich.
Yelich, the 8th man to bat in the inning. He's been on 3 times tonight with 2 walks and a base hit. Sonny Gray struck him out back in the 5th inning. Cain over at first. And Peralta stretches on the mound and delivers, and that pitch is high, ball 1. In the 9th, the Reds will have Lorenzen and Senzel and Votto due to bat. It looks like Jeremy Jeffress is the pitcher, a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. That pitch is a strike. Five to 4, Milwaukee. An inning that began with the Reds in front 4-1. Low and outside. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Bouncing ball hit to first. Votto has it, and he'll go back to the bag, and that ends the inning. The grand slam means that we go to the top of the
ninth. Reds down by 1. 5-4 is the score. New pitcher for the Brewers is number 32, Jeremy Jeffress. 3-2 on the season, 3.63 ERA. He has 1 save on the year. This is his 38th appearance.
Normally, he's a very good setup guy. Has had closer experience in the past. But he comes on now and will be facing Michael. Actually, it'll be Derek Dietrich who will come to the plate and pinch hit. So Dietrich settles into pinch hit to begin inning number 9, and the first pitch to him is taken for a strike. This is a young man who since the 1st of June has hit 1 home run and is batting .157 since then. He had a great first 2 months of the season, and I mean the wheels have fallen off big time since then. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dietrich slow to get back in the box. Jeffress ready to work, but he's going to have to wait now. Derek is in. Sitting on 19 home runs on the year. The 1-1 pitch. And that's low ball 2. Adrian Hauser, who has become the pitcher of record, works 2 innings, gives up 2 hits, 2 runs, and walked a batter. He surrendered a 2-run home run to Eugenio Suarez in the 7th inning. Foul ball back in an even count. 26,235 turnout for tonight's Titanic struggle. 26,235. The advantage of having a guy like Jeffress who's had closer experience, this type of situation doesn't rattle him, and he has struck out Dietrich swinging. Here's Nick Senzel, who has marked his return to the lineup tonight by reaching twice via a walk and a base hit. Jeremy Jeffress gets that all-important leadoff batter. Going to work on Senzel. Ball 1. And a strike to even things. 1-1 to count on Senzel. A loss in this game, and the Reds are 2 outs away from it, will be 10 games under 500 for the first time this season. Ground ball wide to third. Backhand in the hole by the shortstop, and a wild throw past Aguilar at first base. And Senzel aboard with an infield base hit. The Brewers are very, very fortunate that ball didn't get into the dugout. The outfield end of the dugout are in the seats because that way Senzel then's awarded second base. But that ball hit a railing and stayed in play in foul territory. But Senzel does his job. Let's see if Votto can get his third straight hit. He began the night 0 for 2, but has singled and singled again. Has knocked in a run to score a run. He takes it at the knees. Strike call. Tonight, the Reds have hit off Chase Anderson, Matt Albers, Adrian Hauser, and Jeremy Jeffress. Jeffress studies the sign dropped down by Grandal with Senzel leading at first and 1 out. And there's another strike. Votto in a familiar place, count-wise, down 0-2. The Reds have run out there Sonny Gray, Michael Lorenzen, Amir Garrett, Raisel Iglesias, and Wandy Peralta. And this is another night in which the bullpen has been scored on. 4 of the 5 runs that the Brewers have scored tonight have come against the bullpen. Ground ball right side. The play will be to first. And now they're 2 down. Senzel going to second. Mike Moustakas fielded the ground ball, so a 5-3 out. And now Suarez will stand in with a chance to drive in the tying run, prompting a meeting at the mound involving Grandal and Jeremy Jeffress. His one hit tonight was a towering 2-run home run over the wall in left center in the 7th inning.
Jeffress, whose favorite pitch is the slider, has a tendency to bury some into the dirt. This is a good opportunity for Nick Senzel to get a good secondary lead and take third on the wild pitch.
The one thing that Jeffress rarely does is give up a home run. He's allowed only 3 this season in 40 innings. But the Reds would accept a single right here. That pitch way inside, ball 1. Not too many among the 26,235 are seated at the moment. The Brewers being an out away from a big comeback win. That's a drive. Hammered to deep left, and Suarez has done it again. A booming 2-run home run that made the seats in left field. With 2 out here in the 9th inning, and with Senzel scoring ahead of him, the Reds have regained the lead at 6-5. How about that? A lot of those fans are now either sitting back down or leaving this ballpark like rats off a sinking ship.
I mean, we were just asking for a single, but definitely we'll take that. That was a bombzilla right there.
What a night at the end of the evening for Eugenio Suarez. 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 26 of them now with 64 runs driven in. Here's Josh Van Meter, and the fastball's a strike.
And nobody warming up in the Reds bullpen, so it would appear that Wandy Peralta will go back out there to finish the game.
That one has popped out of play. He'll be facing, to lead off the bottom of the ninth, Yasmani Grandal, who's a switch hitter, and then the left-handed batting Moustakas and the right-handed batting Aguilar. No balls and 2 strikes. Jeffress works, And it's grounded to first, played by Aguilar. He'll take it to the bag to end the inning. But the Reds get a dramatic 2-out, ninth inning, 2-run home run off the bat of Suarez, his second of the night. And now that forces a bottom of the ninth with the Reds in front.
On 700 WLW.
As expected, Wandy Peralta back on the mound. He needs 3 outs now. This is almost like a save situation. Not technically, but he's trying to save it for himself. Changes, Derek Dietrich's at second. Jose Peraza's moved to left. Josh Van Meter moves over to right. And here's Yasmani Grandal. And the pitch is taken for ball 1. He entered the game to face Yelich in the 8th inning and got a ground ball to end the inning. Now the 1-0 coming, and that's lined to left field and will be caught. That ball was stung, but it hangs up, and Peraza has no problems making the catch. 1 out. Now the batter will be Mike Moustakas, who got that whole thing underway in the 8th inning as a leadoff batter with a hard ground ball base hit to left off of Amir Garrett. He was immediately replaced by Raisel Iglesias. The wheels fell off. The grand slam by Saladino gave the Brewers what turned out to be a short-lived 1-run lead because of the Suarez heroics. That's a high fly ball headed to left. And Peraza staking that, and they're 2 down in the 9th. Here's Jesus Aguilar. And here comes David Bell back to the mound. He is not going to. He has Jesus Aguilar, who has doubled and singled in 4 previous at-bats. The right-hander bringing it, and Aguilar taking it. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Outfield deep and around toward left. Aguilar with 8 home runs on the season. The pitch, and that's a bouncer foul. Of course, when he's on top of his game, Hughes is a big-time sinker ball pitcher that induces a lot of ground balls. He's out there trying to get his first save of the season. Here's a pitch. And that's a little bit too low, and the count's 2-1. The Cubs in the 7th inning in San Francisco are beating the Giants 3-2. The Cardinals in 10 have knocked off the Pittsburgh Pirates 6-5. Hughes in with a 2-1 to Aguilar. And that's ball 3. Manny Pena standing in the on-deck circle, the last available bat for manager Craig Counsell. He would pinch hit. Hughes needs a strike and could not get it, and he promptly walks the first man he faces. Pitcher Freddie Peralta off the bench to run for Aguilar. And Manny Pena will come to the plate and pinch hit. So Hughes puts the tying run on and now goes to work on Pena. And it's inside a ball. Quickly out to the mound goes Gratterall. 6-12-0 for the Reds, 5-8-0 for the Brewers. Manny Pena And the 1-0 pitch. Strike. Even the count at 1-1. Batting 180 with 5 home runs and 11 runs batted in. He is the backup catcher behind Grandal on this Brewer ball club. Count of 1-1 strike. The pitch. And it's inside. Freddie Peralta running at first base, and you can bet the ranch he's not going to go anywhere. In fact, he's not getting hardly a 3-step lead over at first base. Votto trying to keep him even closer than that if he can. And right now, Hughes needs a strike. He pitches and gets it. It's 2-2. Back-to-back outs with Wandy Peralta on the mound. Hughes comes on to try and get the last out. He walks Aguilar, but he's got a 2-2 count on right-handed batting Manny Pena. Now the pause, and the right-hander to the plate, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out, and this one belongs to the Reds. What a night of baseball in Milwaukee. The Reds had the lead for the longest time until the Saladino grand slam. And then in the 9th inning, a dramatic 2-out, 2-run bomb off the bat of Eugenio Suarez, his second homer of the night. And the Reds have defeated the Brewers in Game 1 of this 3-game get-together, 6-5. We'll be back in just a moment.